Right from my childhood, it was like I will get into the business because I want to turn the life of a farmer. It's been a journey, like sometimes crashing hard on earth, sometimes getting stuck in the way, but it is never torn before. No job is inferior or superior. Treat everyone like yourself. We might not know which oyster holds the pearl. You just have to open the oyster and look into it. Every business is built on trial and error basis. Nothing is like perfect plan executed. No, it is all trial and error.
I'm your host Gaurav Garg and we welcome all our viewers to our show Amazing Mentor. Today with us is Ms. Rajeshwari. She is Executive Director Nitra Corp Sciences Private Limited and Director Nitra Enterprises Private Limited. She has an overall 11 plus years of experience in branding, marketing and entrepreneurship. The company deals with agro inputs, has a strong professional contact across the industry for better representation of being. A professional yoga teacher certified by International Yoga Alliance in both Power Yoga and Wheel Yoga. It's a pleasure to welcome Ms. Rajeshwari to our show Amazing Mentor. Welcome, Ms. Rajeshwari.
Hi, Gaurav. Thank you.
So tell us about your childhood and your hobbies you still enjoy from your childhood.
My childhood, I would tell I was born with a silver spoon, with a child who had everything twice as what she wanted. So, and I come from a very conservative family, from the Queen of Hills, that is Ooty in Tamil Nadu. And I was in a joint family, so about 12 people were at home, and with the rich experience of all the knowledges together and the enjoyment, I had been grown up. What I would say is whatever today I am, it is all because of these 12 people, including 5 kids. So it's been an honor and I'm really proud of my family. And the hobbies I was enjoying was dancing, then reading some fictional books, novels, and now from one decade, I've been enjoying doing yoga.
So where did you completed your schooling from?
My spree education was from a small school named Ilma, which was run by one of my dad's friends. This was a small school which adopted Montessori-based education in the 1990s. So we had fun in it. And later I joined another school, which is a girls' school, which is well known in Ooty, CSI Jal Memorial Girls Higher Secondary School. Then I had to leave Ooty for my graduation, which is BE in Computer Science, to a place called Tiptur, which is affiliated to VTU, Vishwesvaraya Technical University. And then I did my PGDM in Marketing and International Business from IFIM, Bangalore.
How was your nature, introvert or extrovert?
I would say not an introvert, but definitely a shy child. Like, I couldn't even speak up for myself because I've been pampered in that way. Like, once a child is given double of whatever they want, it's very difficult to come out of that situation. So I was a shy child, and I am the eldest among these 5 children in a joint family. So always it was, I wanted to be in the good books of my parents and my relatives. But then, later on I got to know it is not really good to be in the good books of everyone, sacrificing of whom you are. So you have to be yourself. So I'm okay. I can say I'm like outgoing, speaking to everyone.
Any school time incidents which is still fresh in your mind, which you would like to share on our show?
It is in Ooty, so what is the kind of flooring we have. It's all wooden flooring. So 2 levels, first ground level and the first level. What we used to do is, right below our class, there was this staff room. So, this wooden, this is a 100-year-old building, the school which I studied in. So what we do, we know the teachers are there, purposely jump on it, and suddenly the teacher comes running saying, all the dust is in my food. So we had real fun. Even in 12th standard, we never were like these teenage kids, adolescent kids. We were still really very young. We played, and it was a Christian institute. So you have a lot of songs to sing with actions. We were doing all those. We enjoyed our childhood in school.
What was your dream profession as a child?
I come from an agricultural background. My grandfather, my father, my uncle, all are farmers, along with a strong entrepreneurial knowledge, because everyone is into different kind of business. But what was us is, it was all based which was based on agriculture. So right from small bolts and nuts to that twine which you tie and the mulch sheets, everything, and till the high quality seeds, including water pumps, everything. We thought we will give. That was the brainchild of my father. So I come from that background, and I've seen how the business has grown from which level to which level. Just being innovative and just being in a service mode. So right from my childhood, it was like I will get into the business because I want to turn the life of a farmer into something different. It's not like usually in India it is portrayed farmers are like poor, always not getting their prices. All these got into my mind when I was a child. It was my grandfather who would take me into the farm and fields, and I spent my hours of holidays in potato fields, carrot fields, Brussels sprout fields. There are so many exotic vegetables, even still we don't know, but we were growing it in Ooty. So I spent my days there, and in the evenings I would go into the retail shop, sit there, have fun with people there, and during the weekends I would travel with my father to look at onto the territories where the sales happen. We know how much it can be done, so nothing ever crossed except for this agricultural business.
Where did you started your career journey from?
I finished my BE, and for about 1 year I worked, and parallelly I did my CAT. It was a small firm which was giving management solutions to other companies. I've developed 2 softwares for sure, I know. And later on I got into my PGDM studies for 2 years. During that time, we had an internship with other companies between the 2 years. So 3 months I worked with Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance as a salesperson. So I enjoyed that journey too. But when I was in my second year of PGDM, I got placed in a firm which was outsourcing for US firms. So I had to work in the US timings, which is like night. And being a person who's been into the fields, into the sun and into the rain, working in the night and sleeping during the day, it was just a no-no. So 6 months I was like suffering, but then I thought, no, this is not meant for me, because I was losing my health also. It was a discipline which was inbuilt, and suddenly I'm getting out of it. It is no, I never wanted to do that. Then I joined as a PR and brand manager for an international fashion designer, and 2 years I worked as a PR there. The business promotional activities we did there, it gave me a very different insight about people, about different businesses. And then later I had to come back to my business because one point of time I realized, no, that is going to be my destiny. And that was my dream as a child. When I come back, I got the director's position directly, and in 4 years, I became the executive director for Netra Crop Sciences Private Limited, which deals with hybrid seeds, vegetable seeds.
So what was the reaction of your parents when you told them, okay, I don't want to join business directly and I've got internship?
They were not happy. It was surprising and shocking, because people in the college, it is a B school actually. They are like searching for jobs, going around, and this was an easy thing for me. And I came with an expectation that they're going to be happy, but in turn they were like all shocked. It's like, you are going to get into the business and we all depending on you, and what is this you're doing? But then I had to push them a little to get into that and say, no, I have to have some experience to get into the business also. I can't directly go and handle people.
Any particular reason for not joining your business directly and first doing job in the market?
I had come to Bangalore during my PGDM. We had a small business in Bangalore, and during these weekends or the holidays, I would come to the office and sit. Where, when I was going through the process, it was just a small setup. It was a startup then. So when I was going through even, a small suggestion given or a decision taken, I saw I had a lot of difficulty in deciding things. I couldn't directly, with confidence, I couldn't get into it because already people are involved. It's not that, I'm hiring people or they are not out of experience. They were already people. Now they started looking at me with more expectations. I didn't want that to go wrong. Of course, I worked in the ground level for that time. For the 2 years, I've been in the company along with my studies. So then I thought, no, this is not the thing, because I need to be sculpted. Readily nothing can be given off to someone like that. So I need to be sculpted. So I have to go through whatever has to be gone through. Then I started looking for a job. That is where I found that branding and PR job.
What all challenges did you face at the starting level of your career?
Lot of confusions, that's it. Because I told you I was pampered as a kid. Pampered in the sense, it's like people are deciding for you. That's what I mean. It's not like, but all the life skills were taught at home and we had to do it. But that decision making capacity was very low. That confidence was very low when I started doing jobs. And in schools and colleges, you are trained to be in a certain way. Everything is like already predisposed there. Everything is there at your hands. You can choose whatever you want, and nothing is going to go wrong. But when you come to your career, when you get into a job, there are so many reactions, chain reactions depending on your decision. So that came only through experience, and problems are always there. We just have to accept the problems and just try to find out the solutions.
Who is your mentor in life?
My mentor, I would tell two people, that is my grandfather and my father, because these are the people I've spent most of my time with.
Any decision or action you regret in your career?
No, everything has come as a lesson for me. Everything has given a moment of treasure that is worth living for. It doesn't mean that there were no struggles. There were a lot of struggles. Only struggles make a moment really enjoyable. And the obstacles don't come in the path. They are the path. So you have to accept and move on. And I never regretted anything in my life.
What's that one thing you love about your profession the most?
I am in an agricultural profession. So realizing that I'm contributing positively to the GDP of our country is such a satisfying thing. And it comes to a point where I'm also responsible to feed many, literally. So it is such a feeling of satisfaction. And we are definitely working towards the empowerment of the farmers, which we have inbuilt into our sales.
You have vast experience of 11 plus years. How is your journey till date?
I wouldn't say this 11 plus years is a vast experience, because it comes along with my grandfather's experience, which would be like 100 plus years of experience. I'm really proud of it. I am learning every day from every contact. It's been a journey like, a kite flying high, soaring high, sometimes crashing hard on earth, sometimes getting stuck in the way, but it is never torn before.
What all lesson have you learned in your professional journey?
We will have to unlearn to learn more, because education is not going to be the end. It is the beginning of your knowledge journey. And only when we come out of our comfort zone, then we will be able to realize our duties and dreams. And we have to accept that it's going to be a pain. You have to accept it, relish it, and then enjoy it. Another biggest lesson is, no job is inferior or superior. Own the job like you are the boss, and treat everyone like yourself. We might not know which oyster holds the pearl. You just have to open the oyster and look into it.
Any particular moment you would like to share in your professional journey? Worst and most challenging, and the best moment?
And the best is I influence people in a good way. As I told, I had done my teacher's training course in yoga. I teach yoga in my office for my employees. That creates a different bonding between us. They are not scared to tell me their weaknesses, which we later on turn into their strengths. And the worst thing is, there's nothing worst, as I told, and nothing I regretted before. But one incident which I felt worst at that time, but it turned out to be such an eye-opener and a knowledge gainer, is when I was working with a designer. She used to travel a lot, and we used to plan her journey, her travel, and book her flights. And once there was a situation where she had to travel from London to Paris for a fashion show, but all the flights got cancelled due to a cyclone and bad weather. But then she calls up and she says, I don't know how you do it, but you have to get me to Paris by this evening. So that was a very challenging thing because it looked like, you're going around the world at once. So, but then, we were able to do it, and that, the feeling of success or something comes from these events. It's not like, you earn so much, you have a big house. No, these moments make you who you are and they become memories.
What's the main difference you feel in an employed journey and an entrepreneur journey?
Employed, you are in a safe zone, you have someone to look up to, you can go to person when some things go wrong, and there is a little bit of complacency here, and the risk factor is really less, and you have both professional life and a personal life. That means I'm meaning by time. But when you are self-employed, you have to ensure all the people along who is with you are in a safe zone. You have to create a system, and on time you have to make changes according to the requirement. You have to motivate people with your actions and not being a hypocrite. And you have to fall back on yourself and put a very confident face during the time of crisis. And the risk factor is really high. There is no distinguished timeline, like, time you spend professionally or personally. Any time is, your profession becomes your personal life. One advantage is that there is free will of time, there is no bonding of time, but this comes with a high responsibility. When you show your true passion, there are thousands of people who come and guide you. It is like, chain reaction which goes on like that, but you have to show the true passion.
How difficult and easy is it to start your entrepreneur journey?
Okay, as I told, it was full of confusions. It was very difficult for me because I was enjoying my work as a PR and brand manager before, and what seemed to be like a mountain just melted away in a few months. If I had to get into my family business, I had to start all over again because I never had a agri education. So, and another thing is the business has been sustained for a particular time, and the past always gets into your present, and your main concentration would be keeping up the legacy built on it. And there will be a lot of expectations and a lot of comparisons, and it takes a longer time for you to get people to follow you. These two are two different extremes. Some people come and say, no, you're the boss's daughter, you sit here, we will do it for you. And another extreme is like, really, you put into one corner where you don't get to know things, you don't get to mingle with people. These two are different ends. There should be a balance which is created here. You have to hold on to everything together until certain level of trust is being developed.
So what all Netra Group does and what are your roles and responsibilities?
Netra Group is a group of 9 companies. All the companies cater to the farmers' needs, and right from small nail to motor pumps to fertilizers to seeds and pesticides and micronutrients, pest control. We supply anything which is required by the farmer. So there are 9 companies with the Tata Yokma agencies, SS Enterprises, Netra Enterprises Private Limited, Netra Feeds, Netra Agricare, Netra Distributors, Netra Kiara Agencies, and Netra Crop Sciences Private Limited. And we are distributors for almost every multinational seeds and pesticide companies, products, and companies like Bayer from Netherlands, Klaus from Italy, Rallis India Limited, which is a Tata enterprise, Indofil Chemicals, all, these are the companies that are the feather in our hats. And we have been doing this since 30 years, I believe. And I'm the executive director of Netra Crop Sciences, which has a full-fledged R&D, which works in hybrid vegetable seeds. And we are the producers, marketers, and my role is to design, develop, and implement strategic plans for the company. It also involves day-to-day activities of the organization, which includes managing departments, coordinating with departments, staff, and also develop business plans for the marketing and sales people. Then comes the board, where you will be a bridge between the board and the employee, the company. and there would be many suggestions and advices given by the board, but ultimately it comes on to my table. How do we implement or execute it? So there is a lot of pressure.
So what all are do's and don'ts while starting your entrepreneur journey?
Do's, I will say, trust in your abilities, have patience, own your work, have enthusiasm like a child, and open your horizons. We are like stuck to one path, saying, I'm going to go in this, and suddenly there is an obstacle we don't see here and there, and we start panicking there. But panicking, that shouldn't happen. So open up your horizons. Now whatever you do it with your mind and heart, and drop the logic for a moment and be human. Don't, I will say, never give up because some things are getting tough. Don't underestimate anybody or overestimate yourself. Try to avoid sensual desires to certain extent, like seeing, feeling, being. That is all very, very temporary. It's not going to be a permanent thing. So pleasures, no. And avoid negative emotions, like, you dislike someone, you like someone. You have to learn to let go of all those negative things, and avoid restlessness. Nowadays, when we try and hire people, what I see and observe is people just work out in their minds. It's not practically they are working, and it has a very unsettled mind, whether to be here or there. It's like a cat on the wall. So have a settled mind, have a very peaceful mind, and don't have a skeptical mind also, like lots of self doubt, and giving reasons. What if that, what if this, what if that happens, what if this doesn't happen? So don't have a skeptical mind. If you're decided upon something, stick on to it. It will happen.
Advices you would like to share for students who would like to opt for PR and marketing as their profession?
This doesn't go only to the PR, but also to whatever profession you are in. Just bear in mind that we are all working for some people, some fellow beings, to make their life better. So when the heart is involved and the mind is automatically happy. And try being updated in the industry. So it doesn't matter what you do. You just have to put your heart into that and do. And you have to keep learning every day. As I told before, you have to keep learning every day, and you have to have a very creative mind in everything you see, and you have to appreciate things. For PR and marketing, first thing is, I would suggest is, you have to trust the product or the service which you are providing. Without that, it's not going to happen in a right way.
Advice to start entrepreneur journey.
There are hundreds of instructions and explanations to reach a certain place. But the clarity when you get to that certain place is an experience, and no one can explain it with the words. But yet, some things to keep in mind is, like, 100% confidence, and you should be available all the time, like 24/7, 365 days. So you have to be there. Anything that comes your way could be an opportunity. So never leave anything unturned. Don't turn down any moment. And every business is built on trial and error basis. Nothing is like, a perfect plan executed. No, it is all trial and error. So keep trying all your life. And listening is one of the greatest skill to build anything. And so is creativity. Be unique and you will take off.
So from where do you get the motivation to face challenges every day?
Motivation is there everywhere. You just look at the maid who's working for you, or the house help who is doing so many stuff with so much of, day on day, the repetition of work. So that also can be a motivation. But almost every morning, I start off my day with my yoga routine, and that gives me an energy that takes me throughout the day. And I try and deal with things at that moment, and I never put that moment in the future. And I would go speak to my father and my husband, who see things in a different perspective. So that is also a motivation. And when you converse with people with topic you are concerned about, you get a boost of motivation, where they have been doing things differently. And of course, the biggest motivation is my daughter. The energy she has is just commendable, and the way she sees things in an open. Any kid would do that, but it puts me into a perfect place.
So now we will start our rapid round.
Okay.
Your favorite actor and actress?
Mine has been always Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy.
Your favorite color?
I don't have any particular color.
Your favorite destination?
Isle of Skye, which is in Scotland.
Your favorite car?
No, I would say my favorite vehicle would be bicycle, because for me car is just a means of transport.
Things in your wish list?
Now my priority lies in this company. I would see this company making a difference in the industry and truly known for what we are.
The second choice of career?
I don't have an idea of that now, but if I ever start off with a second business, it would be an yoga institution.
One thing that you would like to change if you are provided superpower?
I would like to clean up the whole country, and I would like to bring down the inflation. So I would like to do these two things.
So it was pleasure talking to you and listening to your experiences and your entrepreneurial journey. It was pleasure talking to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Amazing Mentor. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get regular updates. Thank you very much.